know most of you will agree with me tonight that the bridesmaids look absolutely beautiful. I was super impressed at how beautiful the sisters and friends look of bride and groom, and I know that they absolutely adore both George and Melissa. And now we're going to call upon the sister of the bride, one of the maid of honors, Michelle Lai, and she's going to come and toast the bride and groom.
Woo!
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Michelle, and I'm Melissa's older sister. And on behalf of our family and everyone who's here, we just want to thank you so much for being with us here tonight. I know that George and Melissa, that they are really happy to have you here to share in their special day. So just thank you for sharing in this day with us. Oh, I love you too. Okay. I must say that what an honor it is to be Melissa's maid of honor. When Melissa asked me to be her maid of honor months ago, I was incredibly excited.
Hi everyone, my name's Elaine. I think we all know Melissa has two sisters. Hi, Kafu. Melissa actually also asked me to be the maid of honor. I think Michelle was going to say that though, right?
Yes, Elaine. As Elaine was saying, the three of us sisters were really, really close. And it didn't make sense for Melissa to choose one person to be her maid of honor, so she chose both of us. A little different, that's okay. So Elaine had certain roles. Her job was to plan the parties. And my job was to do the more serious things like sign the papers and give tonight's speech. So actually, I think Melissa chose me to give tonight's speech because I actually know Melissa longer than Elaine's known Melissa. Elaine was born much later, so I've had the advantage in years of knowing Melissa.
Yeah, but I think Melissa and we have more depth. So I'm more than qualified to give tonight's.
Right, okay. So, as I was thinking of what to share tonight, I wanted to talk about how precious Melissa is to me as my little sister. She will always be my little sister, and I'm incredibly protective of her. And actually, there was this time in kindergarten. I was 5 years old, Melissa was 4, and it was winter time, and I remember Melissa was playing in the snow with her bare hands. And a few minutes later, she came running to me with tears in her eyes, and she was like, "Michelle, my hands are frozen." And then she said to me, "Can you help me put my mittens on?" And if you can imagine me, I was like in a panic. I was like, "Oh no, how do I help my sister? She's in trouble." And I tried to help her, but I couldn't because I had mittens on. And when I took my mittens off, my hands got cold. So I did what any older sister would do. I rushed her to the principal's office. Forget the teacher in the schoolyard. This was serious. So I took her straight to the principal's office, and I remember the office staff seemed a little amused. I could tell they were holding back their laughter. But that's just an example of how protective I am of Melissa. So I wouldn't just give her away to anyone. And I must say, George, you are the best man for her. You are incredibly protective of her. You take such good care of her.
Always. You know what, George? You are the best man for Melissa. Can I just say just one thing? Thank you. George and Melissa, you guys are so perfect for each other because you are both family-oriented. And I must say, I cannot wait till you guys have your 5 amazing children, because I can't wait to be their favorite auntie. So Melissa, I'll tell you this one funny story about me and Melissa. When we were really little, we used to have this big box of toys that we had. Michelle wasn't there actually. No, she wasn't. We used to literally spend 2 hours putting these Disney princesses from McDonald's and like our action figurines together into families. And this took us 2 hours, and we literally only spent like 10 minutes playing with them in the end. But I remember Melissa, she took this so seriously, and she used to take her time putting these little toys into families. We put Barbie with Batman, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame with like Padme from Star Wars, you know. And Melissa, you're so cute.
Okay, Elaine, yes, actually, Melissa's not just family-oriented, and so is George, but Melissa is also a hopeless romantic. Yes. And I was a little concerned growing up, because I didn't think there was a guy out there who could match Melissa in her level of romance. But George, if there was one, you are that guy. Yes. You Brazilians are passionate when it comes to romance. Like, there's George, buying her flowers, writing her love letters, dancing with her as if no one else is in the room. Like, so romantic. And George, I'm actually wondering, have you seen Melissa's thumper foot yet? You haven't seen her thumper foot? Okay, well, have you guys seen the Disney animated film Bambi? Well, there's this rabbit in Bambi named Thumper, and every time there's a romantic moment that Thumper witnesses, he does this thing with his leg. Okay, thanks. Okay, yeah. So, anyway, we'd be watching romance films as a family, and when that climatic moment comes where the couple kisses, you know that moment, right? Melissa would get so excited and she'd start to thump her foot just like that Thumper rabbit. And we always thought it was so cute. Our dad found this incredibly amusing, and she did this for years. So George, if you're ever having a romantic moment with Melissa and her leg starts twitching, that's probably why.
I actually have one thing to say about Melissa, and I think it's actually... I think it's... I think it's her compassion. Melissa, you are such a compassionate person.
Thank you, Michelle.
Melissa is so compassionate that she used to care for the crabs we would eat for dinner. When we were little, our dad used to bring home live crabs in a brown paper bag, and he would drown them in the sink because he would make crab curry. And I was quite cruel, I admit. I used to take a chopstick and I would poke their eyeballs in the sink. But Melissa, she would grab the chopstick away from me and she was like, Elaine, that is wrong. Don't do that. And she used to stand by that sink and watch them die. A slow, painful death. So compassionate.
Yeah, actually, Melissa, I was going to say that one of your greatest strengths is your compassion. There's no one I know who's more compassionate than you. 7 years ago, I had gum surgery, and it was incredibly painful. I was bedridden for hours in this excruciating pain. And while the rest of my family was off doing different things, there was Melissa, sitting by my bedside. And the poor girl, she couldn't do anything to help me. She tried. She brought me water, she brought me a warm towel, she stroked my hair and sat there and was like, Michelle, can I do anything? And now, she couldn't do anything or say anything to make me feel any better, but the thing that meant the most to me, Melissa, was that you were there. And in a quiet way, that's how you love people. You're always so supportive, a good listener, just being there for those that you love, and I'm just incredibly thankful. So, Melissa, I'm so proud of you.
I love you, Melissa.
Okay, obviously, Melissa, we both love you very much. And all of this passion is just to show you how much we appreciate having you in our lives. And George, Melissa is going to make an incredible wife and mother for all the reasons we listed and many more. You guys are going to have so much fun together. And I'm so glad she chose you because you are a good man. And it's a little bit, we had some mixed feelings leading up to this event because there's someone who couldn't be here tonight. Our father, he died 4 years ago, and if there's, Melissa, I know that he would have been incredibly proud of the woman that you've become. Incredibly proud. And George, our dad, would have loved you. He would have loved you. And George, you've actually set the bar really high for the two of us. So, just saying, okay? So why don't we...
Sorry, one more thing. George, even though Melissa and I have been able, or Michelle and I have been able to get to know Melissa for the last 2 decades, you will have the rest of your lives to spend together. So let's just make a toast.
All right. To Melissa and George and the many family memories they are going to make together.
Why don't you give it up for our beautiful maid of honors?